Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at pitching for today, the 19th of July. It is Saturday. We do have a 3-game day slate and a 9-game main slate this evening. Generally this 3-gamer I would kind of skip over, but might as well just take a quick look at it while we're here. This is a first look at the pitching options on the slate. And I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play in FanDuel, I would generally cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't as tight. You don't have to be as creative. Allows you to get the stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now that spiel is done, let's head to our weather station and see if we have any updates. I did not look at the weather at all this morning. Not sure if it's been updated. It has not been yet, so we're going to want to pay attention to that, obviously, especially because there is a game in Wrigley this evening. DK showing some weather, Cleveland showing some weather as well, which kind of makes sense because Chicago and Cleveland, similar trajectories. But let's just jump right in quick. This 3-gamer, gross, ugly, makes me feel sick. I mean, I don't know. 4 of the 6 pitchers, K-props is juiced to the under, so it's not expecting a whole lot. Cal Quantrill, not somebody I want to use. Waka, probably going to be super popular just because of his matchup. Arguably, it is probably the weakest matchup on the slate. On this 3-gamer. Clay Holmes having a K-prop of 5.5 seems aggressive. Like I still would think Logan Webb probably ends up with the highest K-prop when it's all said and done, but Toronto doesn't strike out all that much. So they're just ugly numbers. Overall ugly names. Logan Webb we prefer when he's pitching at home. As you see, splits aren't as extreme this season, but in years past they've been pretty extreme. It's not the, obviously, best of matchups, but he's the best pitcher on this slate. Waka, like I mentioned, getting the best matchup. Not necessarily a guy that we rely on for a ton of upside. He's been kind of atrocious on the road. His K numbers are super weak on the road as well, which is kind of ugly to see. And I don't think Miami strikes out all that much overall. So, very interesting that Walker probably ends up the most popular, even though it just doesn't make sense. Marlins 12th fewest strikeouts in baseball. I mean, it is what it is. It's not super low number, but in fact, they're closer to the 28th ranked team in strikeouts than they are to the 3rd fewest strikeout team. So, tighter gap here, but still not the greatest of spots for Walker's K upside. I think maybe Eric Lauer has a shot to be the highest scorer on the slate, which, I mean, let me reiterate that Eric Lauer may end up being the highest scoring pitcher on this slate. Super gross. I don't mind left-handed pitching against San Francisco. He's been fairly solid. Been really strong when pitching at home so far. Just 1 home run allowed in 22 innings. Kind of feels like that's the guy I want to rely on the most. And it's gross. Clay Holmes, a guy that I've been talking about for a while now about hitting a wall, and I'm fairly certain he has. 13 or fewer fantasy points in 6 straight starts, and 8 of his last 11. This is a guy that's been a reliever for a long time, and kind of suddenly was made a starter after signing with the Mets. I just don't think he's got, I don't know, the physical stamina to be a starting pitcher throughout the whole season. They've obviously been keeping him at 5 innings for a while now. if this slate was 5 or 6 games, I don't think I'd be playing Clay Holmes, but I think we have to. These top 4 guys. The bottom 2 I'm not playing. Cal Quantrill, no desire. I don't care. Kansas City doesn't strike out. Cal Quantrill, not very good. Reverse splits guy, so like he's in some trouble against Sal Perez, Bobby Witt, Michael Garcia, maybe even Jonathan India, as gross as that feels. And Nick Martinez, just not excited to play him against the Mets. He's been hit around quite a bit on the road, so I'll gladly pass on him and just play these top 4 guys. I know it's not saying a whole lot since there's only 6 options, but eliminating 33% of the pitcher field helps out a little bit. Now let's switch over to the main slate here this evening. I'm going to go back to going game by game. Detroit, Texas, I have zero interest in either pitcher. We've played each pitcher before, as weird as it sounds. Like, we've played Rocker. Unfortunately, we played him here, I'm pretty sure, against the Angels, and he got lit up. But he dominated them earlier, but still, I have no desire to play Rocker. No real desire to play Montero. Montero's one of those guys that I feel like is better than he's actually shown. But until we start seeing performances at the major league level, I think we're fine just not playing him. Baltimore, Tampa Bay. Taj Bradley looked great. Charlie Morton looked atrocious yesterday. So Zach Littell, definitely somebody I'm interested in. He's actually allowed fewer home runs at home. 24 home runs allowed on the season. It's pretty insane. A couple very solid starts against the Orioles. Doesn't strike out a whole lot of guys. So his upside's kind of limited. He's more of like a last guy in type of play. I just don't see him having upside. But, Baltimore can strike out with the best of them. So he's at least intriguing. Dean Kramer's looked pretty good. Really good in 3 out of his last 4. He was solid in this one. Didn't pick up a ton of fantasy points. He's interesting. One of those starts was against Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay on the road is a different team than they are when they're at home. Now, he does have 2 very solid starts against them. He's just been really bad on the road. He has more upside than Littell. So I think for that reason, I'm going to sprinkle in more Kramer, than Littell. But I don't feel great about it. I actually do like the Tampa Bay bats a little bit to wake up against him. They woke up yesterday for sure, so maybe that carries over against Kramer. The A's and the Guardians. Logan Allen is intriguing. Left-handed pitching against the A's, probably the better way to attack them. I like Saccone yesterday. He looked decent until they left him in the 9th for some reason. Logan Allen, just one of those guys that he's probably okay. Doesn't blow you away with upside. So I might end up having to pass on him. I guess maybe he's probably a better GPP play than Zach Littell, because I think he might have a little more upside in this matchup, but it's not something I feel super excited about. Luis Severino on the other side. Allowed just 1 earned last time out. Struck out 8 against a difficult Toronto team to strike out. Pitching on the road, where he's been vastly different than at home. His K numbers suck on the road, but still, I'm kind of intrigued. Cleveland has struggled enough, but I think they're on a winning streak now after they had lost 10 in a row or something. But I kind of want to see Severino go out and shove, because I know the A's would love to be able to trade him at this point, so I don't know if I can get there. Obviously, the weather's going to matter quite a bit for us. It does feel gross to rely on Severino, the way that he's basically said that he hates the A's. Don't know why he signed, but whatever. St. Louis, Arizona, Sonny Gray, always in play for me. But, he did drop a 51 spot on the road here. 37 on the road. But generally he's been a guy that we love at home. But his overall numbers on the road have actually been pretty solid. Far lower whip, far lower average against. He just has allowed a couple extra runs. I think Sonny Gray is going to be in play, especially Ketel Marte being away from the team. I think there's some upside in Sonny Gray. Ryan Nelson on the other side. Strong start streak ended last time out where he got lit up by the Angels. He's been completely different when at home, where he's at this evening. I don't know if I'm going to get there just because St. Louis just doesn't strike out. 6th fewest in baseball. They do strike a little bit more on the road, so maybe. But I also don't know that he has a ton of upside overall. I mean, his strongest fantasy point performance is 25 on the season. But the way he does pitch at home, I am at least intrigued a little bit. But I think I'd just rather play Sonny Gray in this one and move on. But Ryan Nelson's kind of on that short list. Probably a better option than Zach Littell. Probably a little better than Logan Allen as well. Yankees, Braves. I assume the Braves are kind of going somewhat bullpen, modified bullpen. Joey Wentz, I think he started this game. Went 3 innings. Or was the long man after an opener. I don't remember exactly, but stretched out to 50 pitches. So maybe they push him to 60 to 70. Not in play for me. Will Warren, somebody that is in play because he has upside, but he's super volatile. The Braves could certainly wake up against him, and it wouldn't shock me. He's been atrocious on the road. There's a lot of things working against Warren, but I do think there's upside, so I am going to play some Will Warren. Cubs, Boston. Definitely want to know what the weather is like here in Chicago. Bayo, 5 home runs allowed in 21 1/3 road innings. Not great. A lot of walks. I don't think I can use him against the Cubs. Just don't think he's a strong enough pitcher for me to consider him against that Cubs offense. But Shota is definitely somebody I want to utilize. He's better on the road, but still he's not terrible at home this season. Coming off of a 28 fantasy point performance against the Yankees. I like the upside he offers, so I am hoping that the weather holds off for that game because I would like to play some Shota. Zebby Matthews, I'm intrigued just because he's shown such strong K upside in the minors, but it is in Coors. It is a little worrisome, but still, I think I might sprinkle him in because of his upside. Senzatella, not somebody I'm interested in at all. Brewers, Dodgers. Quinn Priester made me eat so much crow yesterday. Just an unbelievable performance from a guy that I thought was dust, really. But he's shown some things with the Brewers, so maybe we have to take him more seriously. I will play some Freddie Peralta. I don't feel great about it just because I don't ever feel great using pitching against the Dodgers. He did shut them out in Milwaukee. But his numbers are much worse when on the road, so there is some worry there in that matchup. Sheehan, I think he's got some talent. 1 run allowed in each of his 3 appearances. Might not go deep enough in the game. Doesn't rack up enough strikeouts, really. I think we probably can just pass on him and feel okay about it. Last game, I don't have any desire to play Logan Evans, but I will be playing some Lance McCullers. He's volatile, obviously, but there is upside in the matchup. He did strike out 8 4 1/3 against Seattle earlier this season. I think he's definitely in play for some upside, but overall, this pitching slate is atrocious. I hate it. That's just putting it gently, or bluntly, or it's just straightforward. Don't like it at all. But there's our first look. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. I'll put links into our merch store. I know Tattoo's been working on it quite a bit. This is a view of quote-unquote my hoodie. Check it out. I'll be rocking mine soon enough, but like always, best of luck, everybody.